Pick a niche to get rich. Make sure there's money in that niche and then go after it.
This is Stay Paid, a sales and marketing podcast on a mission to help you close more deals and retain more business.
Welcome to another episode of Stay Paid. I'm Joshua Stike along with Luke Acree. And before we bring on our guest today, we'd love it if you take a minute to subscribe to Stay Paid on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're not already subscribed, and while you're there, drop us a review to let us know how we're doing. We'll read it here on the show. This week's, this wasn't a review, but this was a comment from one of our, the friend of the show, friend of Reminder Media, Renee Burke.
I love Renee.
We've been working with Renee Burke for a long time. She's a huge advocate. We absolutely love what she's doing out there in Scottsdale, Arizona. She commented on a recent podcast with Brandon Hegg. So Brandon talked about this idea of IPA. So when asking for referrals, you want to improve, praise, and ask. Make sure you go back and check out that episode. But she says, Brandon, this IPA idea is fantastic, and it really fits my style of working with clients from the place of serve, not sell. I learned a lot of great things. So thank you for showing up. Josh, Luke, and Ariel, thank you for introducing Brandon to your audience. So thank you, Renee, for
love it, Renee,
on our YouTube video. Ironically enough, we have another Brandon in the studio today. His name is Brandon Bornancin. With a career spanning over 20 years, Brandon is a serial salesperson generating over $100 million in sales deals, a two-time entrepreneur, an expert sales speaker, and a trainer who is obsessed with helping you maximize your potential. As the founder and CEO of Seamless.AI, one of the fastest growing companies in SaaS, he's helped over 275,000 sales and marketing teams book more meetings and fill their calendar. He's also the author of 3 bestsellers, Whatever It Takes, Sales Secrets, and 7-Figure Social Selling. Brandon, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks, Josh and Luke. Thrilled to join the Stay Paid audience today. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. I love it. Love the energy. Would love for you to just take maybe a minute and kind of share about your story, right? You're very successful in sales, very successful entrepreneur now, an author. Can you share kind of a little bit of how you got into even the entrepreneurship game? Take us back a little bit and lead us up to today.
Yeah, no problem. And again, thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here. So for me, this journey, this crazy journey started when we were like growing up as a kid. My parents were no college degrees, pretty blue collar poor. My mom worked at a bank during the day, grocery store at night. My dad worked construction, and then on the weekends, he worked at the Macy's company, which was called May Company, selling computers at Macy's. So as you can imagine, these are like very low dollar per hour jobs. And started for me, 2nd grade cafeteria and English class, Miss Huber's English class. So because we were pretty poor, my mom would, every Saturday, every Friday, she would go through the newspaper and highlight every single garage sale in my city and the 4 surrounding cities. And then she would take my sister and I, throw us in her beat-down Nissan Sentra. We'd go garage hopping for like 5 hours.
Oh my gosh. You guys were doing the Gary V before Gary V made it popular.
First off, it is terrible. Don't let Gary make garage selling cool. It's terrible. He's full of shit. But yeah, looking back, it's hilarious because flash forward. So after doing the garage sale thing, I'd go to school and I'd be like a skinny kid in an extra large Tasmanian Devil t-shirt that my mom picked up. And I started there and I'd get made fun of in school. And I remember all my friends in grade school, they all got to buy lunches and I never got to buy lunches. And, most of my food we were eating out of cans of food from Mark's. Mark's was a grocery store that was the cheapest that never took a credit card because they charged a fee for the credit card. So growing up in grade school, I got made fun of a lot and I just knew I hated it. So I was like, I gotta change my situation. I don't want to be like my family. I don't want to be poor. And then I actually started using the garage sales to buy sell Pogues, baseball cards. And then fast forward, went into college. Like, hey, I got to go into sales and entrepreneurship. I got to find a gig. I got to sell and make money. And I was a big online poker player. So I cold called all the poker companies. Hey, I want to sell for you. Convinced partypoker.com to let me sell for them to recruit players at $100 a cost per acquisition.
Wow.
Once I signed that deal, signed up, everyone in my dorm made 10 to 50 grand, then signed up every kid at Ohio University at every dorm, then took it online. And that went to a $12 million company by the age of 21. But then President Bush made it illegal to gamble online in 2007. Mm-hmm. So it shuts down poker. I launched a second company called InMobile Text Message Marketing. For the next 3 to 4 years, I lose $4 million, go absolutely broke because of one main reason. I didn't have the list of the companies that I needed to sell to my text message marketing. This was for flip phones before they had iPhones. So my business failed. I wasted 4 years of my life building the next thing that I thought would be as big as the poker company. And then we quit.
You know what's interesting there? Sorry to chime in, but it's super interesting is text message marketing has gone on to be really popular. And there's some businesses that make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think
Twilio?
Yeah. I mean, do you think you were on the bleeding edge, I guess, of it versus the leading edge? It's
100%. This was early.
Yeah.
This was like before people were using SMS to market and advertise. And I'm like, man, if companies could market and advertise to customers and potential customers one-to-one on their phone, that would change the world.
Well, it just shows you it's a great lesson for, entrepreneurs. Sometimes you have a great idea, but timing also factors in, right? And list. But okay, pick up on that failed because you didn't have the list. So where'd you go from there?
Yeah, it failed because I didn't have the list to sell to. And I didn't know how to do B2B sales. Like two factors. Like the first company, I knew poker. Like I was playing just like I showed you my screen. And are we doing video on this thing or no?
Yeah, we're doing video too.
Okay, so like you've got here, I've got 7 monitors here, and then I've got a whiteboard. So when I was in college, I had like 4 monitors to play poker. So everyone would come to my dorm room, like asking me, "Hey, where are you playing? How you playing? How are you making so much money online poker?" And I kept telling them, "Go here, go here, go here." I'm like, they should pay me. And then I just started cold calling them. And then, with InMobile, that failed. So one of my partners, Jake, goes to IBM Interactive. So he was my partner at InMobile. We both lost all of our money and went bankrupt. He basically, we shut it down. He goes to IBM. And then he says I should join IBM to sell. Join him at IBM. And then the first thing we got to do is build a list. Because we learned from InMobile, if we don't build a list, we won't be able to sell IBM Watson to anyone. So then we just started figuring out how to build search engines and AI and automate list building. And then I actually ended up selling for Google after IBM, and I fully automated it. And long story short, figured out how to automate finding everyone that you need to sell to, which is now my company called Seamless. Used it at selling for Google and became a millionaire in sales. Really fast.
Wow.
And then realized it was like my secret weapon, Seamless. I was like, I can't tell anyone about it. And then once I became a millionaire, I'm like, shit, if I could help everyone become a millionaire using Seamless, then we changed the world. So I decided to quit. And now I'm full-time as CEO and founder at Seamless, helping.
Can you give the brief?
People.
Can you give you said 500,000 people?
Yeah, 500,000 people.
Unbelievable, brother. Can you give the quick kind of 30 seconds, minute of what Seamless is so everybody understands?
So Seamless.AI finds everyone's cell phones, emails, contacts, and companies that you need to sell to. So it's a search engine where you type in any criteria, title, company, industry, revenue, anything that you need. And in real time, the search engine will find every single professional in the world that you need to sell to. This is why Sergey Brin and his wife, the founders of Google, invested. And then, so that was the Google technology. And then I used AI from what I learned building and selling IBM Watson to research, validate, and verify in real time the perfect email, cell phones, and insights for anyone in the world.
That's amazing.
You want to hear some crazy shit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you some. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. My bad.
Well, it's too late now. You've already done it.
Don't worry, Ariel's marking all that.
Guys, there's a great sales principle there. Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Right. Yeah.
That is a sales principle, ladies and gentlemen.
So now we're honored and grateful. Our users have researched over 664 million leads. This is coming in from Tableau today, 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
generated 13,285,000 appointments, over 2.6 million closed won deals, over $26.571 billion generated for our customer base. And then like we've got awards called President's Club Awards that I give to our customers and users. We've got 13,000 people that have won.
Dude, that's how we learned about you. We had a guy that worked for us, Jason Bramble. He's a stud. He went off and started his own marketing agency called Revcardo. I don't know if you remember him or not, but I think he's in your millionaire club or something like that.
Yeah. He's a 7-figure club winner. We got to get him to the 8-figure club ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP. Come on, Jason, if you're listening to this, ASAP, make us proud. But yeah, he used to work here and then went off and started his own thing. He's crushing the game, but I think he uses your stuff and does your stuff. So that's amazing.
So this is like what fuels me every day. It's not the cars. It's not the jets. It's not any material bullshit. It's like going all in to help the people that we serve change their lives forever for the better. I believe the life you want, the family you want, the time, the freedom, everything you want in this life is just one list away. The only way to sell that list and build it is with Seamless. And that's where we're at today. About 400, 500 people.
That is incredible. Let's talk about this because a couple of things in your story that stuck out to me. Number one, you grew up, I think you called it poor. I relate to the whole, not being able to buy lunch or anything like that as well. But one of the things that you immediately shifted out of was the mindset of just because that's the life that you were born into, it's not the life that you chose for yourself. And then after the failure of your business and kind of how you're speaking about this, your latest book, Whatever It Takes, I think goes a lot into mindset. I've watched your Instagram content. You talk a lot about mindset. What is the secret of finding the proper mindset, maintaining it, and then leveraging that for, your personal success?
Yeah, I believe it's just setting massive goals. Step one, set massive goals. Because my whole life I've lived below my potential. I like every time I set a really big goal, and even if I didn't achieve it the next year, like I was like, oh man, if I could just build a company that does 100,000, like I'll go back to when I was selling. Oh, if I could just generate $1 million in sales, that would be amazing. And then like worked hard every day, built the list with Seamless, got 10 million. And then I'm like, man, I can get to 10. I should go and shoot for 5 million or 10 million. And then I do that. And then I shoot for 50 million and then do that. So I think like number one, it sets with like having really big targets, really big goals for 5 pillars of your life. Professional. Like, what are your professional goals? Number 2, personal. What are your personal goals? The shit that has nothing related to do with work. Number 3, health goals. Like health. And then number 4, wealth. Number 5, relationships. If any one of these pillars gets messed up, it literally, I call it a domino effect. It falls and it destroys the entire empire. So for example, if I'm a multimillionaire and I eat shitty, I drink shitty, I don't work out, like I'm literally dying inside every day of my life, none of the money is going to save me. You look at Steve Jobs, the only thing that he would have done anything to not have the cancer, to not pass away. Like he talks about in interview after interview, like I would do anything to get my health back. So any one of these 5 pillars goes down, you're screwed. So I'm big in doing whatever it takes, setting massive goals for these 5 pillars. And then reverse engineer the daily activity to hit that. And if it's a work thing, you can't use 365 days. There's only 265 days in a year, Monday through Friday. So take whatever your professional target is, divide it by 265, and then go do that thing. And then the only thing stopping you from the big goal and then the reverse engineer, the daily activity required to hit it is 3 things. And I know we're flying. I'm going to try to slow it down.
No. I love it, man. Keep going. I love it.
Let me bring down the pace for a second. So number 1, knowledge. To go from average life to epic dream life. Point A to point B. Average or shitty life, point A, to epic dream life, point B. The number 1 thing holding you back is knowledge. So it's like, pay the people that have the secrets. So my second best-selling book is Sales Secrets. It's like, go find the people that have written books, that have the expertise to tell you, that have done the things that you want to do to go where you want to go, and go pay them, buy their shit, get coached by them, get mentored by them, so that you gain the knowledge to go from point A, average or bad life, to point B, dream life.
Mm-hmm.
So then once you have the knowledge, right? So let's just say we are entrepreneurs or salespeople, because I know a lot of this show is small business owners. Let's just say we're a small business owner. We're making 100K. Man, if I could just like hire, I'm a solopreneur. 96% of businesses are small businesses. I'm a solopreneur. I'm barely like paying my bills, and I'm paying myself 20, 40, 50 like K. I'm not making any money. I'm grinding every day for the past few years. If I could just get to $1 million, I could hire a few people, take home 250, 400K and be free, financially free, right? Okay, well, who are the entrepreneurs in my business, in my industry, that went from average business owner to epic dream life business owner, and then pay them to coach you, mentor you, give you the books, give you the secrets. So knowledge is the first step to doing that. And then the second is activity. Like, you got to put in the activity. Like, once you have the knowledge and you don't do shit with it, like, you're dead in the water.
Yep.
Example, let me share a quick story. My guy, Phil, love him. He's like, so he is our culture like multiplier. Phil, genius. He joined Seamless like recently right out of college. And he's like our pump up guy for the whole culture. And then he also did my PR, was an SDR, and now he's on the design team, leading the design team.
Oh, wow.
But when he started at Seamless, this was years ago, he was reading any book possible about anything. And I'm like, dude, you do what 99% of people don't do. They like read. It's like, it takes me 30 days to 2 years to write a book. All of my secrets that I have to give to you from everything I learned, 30 days to really 2 years. Most authors, like this one took me 22 days. This one took me 2 years. And then 7-figure social selling took me a year. Like, these people spend their whole lives giving you the secrets. So he would already read about the secrets, which is amazing. But the one thing he did bad was he would just read about anything. Mm-hmm. That's like, oh, well, why don't I just drive down this street today in my car? Oh, there's a new stop sign and a new way to go. I'm just going to go that way. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to read about the things and the goals you're trying to accomplish and get the knowledge, and then put the activity against the knowledge that you have to achieve the goals.
Yeah.
For example, my passion is multifamily real estate. I want to do a ton of multifamily real estate, but all of my time and energy is in building a 1,000-person company that IPOs over the next 12 to 24 months. So reading about multifamily real estate, reading about crypto, reading about these things, like my greatest return, like I'm giving my investors like a freaking 20x multiple on their dollar. I'm giving myself 20, 30, 40x multiple on my dollar.
Jeez.
So when I spend any amount of time not on the business and these other 5 pillars, health, wealth, relationships, and personal, I'm just throwing it away. So you got to put in that activity, the right things. And then lastly, the third thing that could kind of crumble those 5 pillars is fear. I tell people, like, your fears. Or if we want to make it more PG, face your fears.
Yeah.
Face your fears and overcome them. Because, like, if you've got the knowledge, but fear is holding you back from the activity, oh man, more businesses have failed because of fear. More entrepreneurs have failed because of fear. But when I was a kid getting made fun of in grade school at Westlake Elementary in Cleveland, Ohio, like, there was nothing else to fear, like getting beat up, getting picked on, whatever. Like, so I just learned at an early age, like, who gives a shit what people think? Do what you need to do to serve your customers, serve your audience, and then grow your business, grow your company.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
Nah, you're spot on. We just posted something on our social that was basically, the idea was similar. It's you've got to actually shift your whole perspective to embrace the fear, understanding that most people spend their whole life trying to avoid it. But it's the ones who are successful that realize, no, this is actually something that's good. The pain is good. It produces progress. It makes me learn. The road to success is paved with failure. Like it really is, once you shift your mindset to embrace the suck, as they say, to embrace the no, you really can achieve something.
Different things in whatever it takes.
Yeah. So share with us, right? Because so many of our small business owners, they're in sales, right? They're solopreneurs. So they're serving the customer, but they're also trying to go get new customers. You're a master right now of helping people really get appointments. I think what did you show? $26 billion in revenue generated, millions of appointments. What's your kind of secret to, or tips you would give, I should say, of appointment booking? Like what's some tips you would give for salespeople out there that want to book more appointments?
Yeah, this is simple. There's really 4 secrets that will take you, like, after studying the 13,000 6-figure club winners, the 3,933 7-figure club winners, the 454 8-figure club winners, and the 2 9-figure $100 million club winners, they've all done 4 things. Number 1, picked a niche to get rich. Like, who are your most likely ready to buy customers right now?
Picked a niche to get rich. I like that. A lot of times the riches are in the niches. I like that.
Yeah, pick your niche to get rich. Hashtag that.
Niche to get rich. So, and you can kind of get screwed up with this a little bit. You want to hear a quick story how I got screwed up with it?
Yeah.
So I was in advertising, selling for Google and IBM, right? And I went from making $50K to making over $1 million a year using Seamless. And so I thought ad agencies, I'm like, ad agencies, because that's what I sold Google to. And the problem with selling to ad agencies, like my people that would buy Seamless are sales teams, salespeople, marketers, and entrepreneurs. Ad agencies only have a few salespeople, and ad agencies typically rely on a lot of referrals.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I was picking a niche that I knew versus picking a niche to get rich. What I should have done was look at, SaaS companies, they have a ton of salespeople. They're going after thousands of sales prospects. So I wasted a year trying to grow Seamless, selling to ad agencies where all these salespeople were like, no, I don't want to sell Ogilvy advertising via cold prospecting. I want to take people to dinner and then pray and hope that they'll fill out a lead on my ogilvyadvertising.com website. So like, you got to figure out like, where's the data on like, who are the companies that are using my platform the most, and where is all the money? Follow the damn money. Pick a niche to get rich. Make sure there's money in that niche and then go after it. Number 2, to sell anything to anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place, any industry, no matter if the economy is blowing up or if there's a recession, you need the list. You can't sell anything to anyone without the damn list.
Dude, that's so true, because I look at our company, Reminder Media, and I often think, what's made it so successful? And one of the really basic things is that we targeted at first real estate. Now we work in over 140 different industries, but real estate's list were available. It was easy to go find real estate agents online with their cell phone numbers, email addresses, all that stuff. And we were able to scrape the data and get the list. And it's so simple, but it was one of the defining things that helped our company, because we could cold call and then reach out and prospect those lists.
100%. Yeah. And the board member, so one of my board members is actually one of the founding members from CoStar, the largest multi-billion real estate company. So they have CoStar and then they have LoopNet. And like my poker company was successful because I created a crawler scraper for all the college dorms. Like, it's really exactly what Zuckerberg did, but I'm not as smart as Zuckerberg, so he's way cooler. I'm like a much dumber Zuckerberg, and I'm okay with that.
You're the sales version of Zuckerberg.
I'm the sales version, So I scraped the Ohio University dorm room and mass emailed them all after I went door to door knocking, and I went out of James Hall. I like scraped all the dorm rooms, mass emailed them. And that's how, and then we built a website and took it online and it blew up. And that's how we went, like the list got me from like making 100K to making over $1 million a year. And then once we took it online with the list, went from 1 to 12 insanely fast. But that's why mobile failed. That's why the poker thing was successful. That's how I sold 50 million for IBM, 100 million for Google. And then Seamless became a $100 million company in 2 years.
Unbelievable, man.
And then, like,
how many salespeople?
I would say our valuation is way over $1 billion right now, but you could argue, oh, well, what's the multiple now that the economy has kind of gone down, whatever.
Yeah. Well, how many salespeople do you have on your team?
250.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. Congrats. Seriously, that's unreal. What you're saying, what I want to drive home for the audience about the power of the list to make sure people don't miss it, is so many entrepreneurs, business owners, what they miss is that to build a business, it's an offensive game. And so many people think they can start a brand and attract business. That is something you want to do, and it plays out over the long term, and you'll build a brand and people will come to you through referrals. But the main way to build a business, you got to get on that phone. You got to get face to face. You got to get out there on the offensive. And when you have a list, you can just start mowing it down. Grassroots, how do you win an election? It's town hall to town hall, handshake to handshake, kissing babies. That's how you win an election. Get out in front of as many people as possible. And what entrepreneurs don't understand is the power of the list is, man, you can just be so frequent. And the frequency will ultimately create that greatness.
Yeah, 100%. And what's cool is, like, because I have all the data, my cost to acquire a customer from marketing is 5 to 10x the cost to acquire a customer from cold outbound prospecting, building a list, selling the list. Now, if you take the list that you build like with Seamless and find all the companies you need to sell to, get all the contacts, the emails, the cell phones, and you cold sell to that, as well as take those lists and upload it into Facebook
and retarget it. And, target
LinkedIn audiences, Instagram audiences. Boom. Now it's like hyperscale. So that's step 2, right? Pick a niche, you get rich, build the list. It's the only way to sell to anyone, build the contact list, the company list. And then number 3, scripts. Like you have to plan out your campaign all in advance. What is the calendar of my campaign? Okay, this is going to be a 30-day campaign. I'm going to have 18 touches. First touch is going to be an email. Second touch, day 3 is going to be a call. Third touch, day 5 is going to be a video message on LinkedIn. 6th touch is going to be whatever, right? Write out all of your scripts in advance, because once you pick a niche to get rich, you actually know everything about that niche. Their biggest problems, their biggest pains, their biggest barriers, their biggest desires, goals, dreams. Like when you pick a niche to get rich, you really want to understand everything about that persona. To take them goes back to it. Average life or shitty life, point A. Point B, dream life, epic life. These are their pains, problems, and barriers. Here are your dreams, desires, and goals.
Yep.
We're going to skyrocket you over there. And you got to write the scripts to do that. And then also, you got to have the scripts to overcome every single sales objection. So like when I'm selling, I'm in the matrix. I see zeros and ones.
Are you
dodging objections?
Do you teach your sales team, like the 250 people you have on the phone? Is it word-based, meaning they need to say basically the words? They can have a little freedom, but they basically need to follow the word tracks? Or are you process-driven that's like, hey, as long as you're hitting these mile markers on your way down the road, you're okay? Which one do you kind of
great
go
question.
to?
It's a mix of both.
Okay.
So I coach, and not me, our whole team coaches and trains. Like we all do it. I never like to use the word I. I love using the word we. We coach and train all of our salespeople to be the Tom Brady of sales. So, when I started the company, I'm obsessed with sales lists and sales scripts. So I wrote 25 different books on every single sales objection, sales script, calls, email, social touches. I'm not interested. It's too expensive. I already work with someone. Send me more info. What's your guarantee? Call me back later. It's too expensive. I'm already working with a competitor. Every single, all of those objections. And then I've got hundreds of ways to address and overcome all of those. So we are very word for word, but I call these plays.
But you could choose the play you want to run.
So they're Tom Brady. They got to watch the defense, customer with objections. Customer with objections. And then they're trying to throw the ball, which is the money ball.
Great analogy.
To get Seamless sold into that company, we've generated $26 billion in client revenue. I know your business will fundamentally explode and multiply and change forever for the better. Like, I cannot get sacked. I have to throw a touchdown on every play. So with all these different scripts, they're just different ways to overcome the sales objection. And then they can throw and run that play however they want.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. We have about, I would say 72 hunters. Overall, we have like 150, maybe 160 salespeople, but some are more account upselling. Others
That's so amazing,
are more.
By the way, congrats.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. But we're probably at that phase of the game. One of the reasons why we're maybe hitting a blocker is because we haven't made that full commitment to literally mapping out every single play and enforcing, because we've been more milestone based. I'm sharing this because I think it's valuable to the audience of thinking through, should you just encourage people to follow a process, or should you literally map out word for word, like this is what you should say when you get this objection? And I love the example you just gave of, hey, there's multiple ways to overcome talking to a partner. Here are the different plays. And based upon what you learn from that person in the conversation down, you understand the defense. So pick the one that you think is best going to work on this defense, but say one of these plays. Don't ad lib. Don't try to pull and be creative. One of our guys that we just hired, he came from running a call center of about 450 people. He uses a line I love. He goes, I can't afford your creativity any longer. Like when the sales caller's trying to do it on their own and they're not close, it's like, look, I can't afford your creativity. So I think that's
so strong. I love that, by the way. That's great. And like, I will empower our performers to leverage the scripts, and you could customize them and personalize them to you. But to be honest, if you're not crushing quota within the first 90 days,
exactly,
you shouldn't be doing anything. Like we
somehow
built a $100 million company in 2 years. We've sold almost 100,000 customers. Like, you're telling me you, brand new rep out of college, knows a better way to sell it than our group of experts and data scientists? Like, bullshit. Like, I'll just go head to head with you. Now to be respectful, I would never put, I'm saying that on the podcast.
I totally
I would
get
never
you.
say that to them when I'm coaching them that way.
Right.
But I really train them like, look, until you're crushing quota, follow the scripts, follow the process. Yeah, you could use your own tonality, maybe customize a word or two, right? But like, I'm going to give you the best openers, the best elevator pitch, the best value propositions, the best call to actions, the best formulas and systems and processes. Use the plays with the strategy that we lay out for you. Yeah. And then once you become a top performer, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Do
whatever you want, as long as we keep improving.
Yep. Love it.
I love that, man. Brandon, yeah, such a great career. One final question for you. Kind of, we like to pick successful people's brains and kind of learn what kind of drives you, what kind of keeps you going. Is there a principle or a mantra or something that you live by in your life that has really driven the success? Oh, he's showing the book, everybody. He's showing the book.
Man. I don't know
whatever it takes
is needed. Whatever it takes. Yeah, no, whatever it takes. Like, this mantra, I've never been smart. I've never been smart, good looking, came from a rich family, had a shitload of connections. I've just always built the list and then done whatever it takes to sell to the list, market to the list, acquire the list, for everything in my life. Like, from if I needed to go to my first 100 customers, built the list, sold the list, did whatever it took to acquire them. Okay, if I needed to raise venture capital funding, I built a list of 20,000 VCs and angel investors and literally pitched 347 VCs. 297 of them told me to eat dirt. And I closed 47 of them for a $2 million seed round. Incredible. That was like the longest, hardest thing I've ever done. Raising like 100 million after I went from a 2 million to like $100 million round. And like the 100 million was 10 times easier than the 2 million. Cause people were like, and this is where whatever it takes to come in. Brandon, you're from Ohio. You can't build a tech company in Ohio. Brandon, you're not a programmer. Brandon, you didn't go to MIT, Harvard. Brandon, you don't have an IQ of whatever. Like, Brandon, you didn't work at a Silicon Valley SaaS company. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll do whatever it takes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. While your other entrepreneurs quit because you just think that they know JavaScript and you're going to give them a few bucks, I will die before letting this dream disappear. And, that's the mantra, whatever it takes.
Love it, man.
So
awesome.
good.
Thank you so much for coming on, Brandon. Before we close out, let people know how they can connect with you, learn more about Seamless, all that good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So I write a daily newsletter where we share secrets to help you maximize your success. Just go to Seamless.AI and join for free to get the newsletter. Also, you'll get $500 in free sales leads, the number one world's best sales leads. Go to Seamless.ai, join for free. Also, make sure you input the referral code. Do we want to use the show name or what do we want to use for the referral code?
Yeah, do the show name. Stay paid.
Stay paid it could be one word or two, whatever works. Put in the referral code, stay paid, and we'll give you an extra $500 in bonus referral credits. And then also connect with me on LinkedIn. Would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I got the Sales Secret podcast, Amazon, pick up any 3 of the best-selling books. Would love to hear what you're trying to do from average or shitty life. And I'm going to try to help do whatever I can, get you to amazing dream, epic life.
Awesome, brother. Thanks again for coming on. Thank you all so much for listening. You can dive deeper into this episode. Get those links that Brandon mentioned over at staypaidpodcast.com. While there, you can get the video for this episode. Make sure to check out the video for this one if you're listening in audio, because Brandon shared a screen, showed some pretty impressive stats, and walked through some stuff there as well. If you enjoyed this episode and want to show your support, the first way is to head on over to Apple Podcasts, drop us a 5-star review along with a comment. And the best way to support the show is to tell a friend. Share this episode with a business owner that you know that is looking for the motivation and the secret to start building that list, start generating those deals for their business, to live the epic dream life. If you want to get a hold of me or Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com. And of course, you can find us on Instagram and all social media. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, and I'm Luke Acree. Man, what an incredible episode, Brandon. Super appreciative of you coming on. It's the first I've ever heard about you and met you, so I feel really honored to have the chance to get to know you a little bit. Looking forward to learning more about your stuff. Here's the action item for everybody listening to this podcast that I think will really transform your business. Where is your list, and do you have a list that you are prospecting? If you don't, you're missing out on a major, major opportunity. It might be even your database of all your past clients that you're getting referrals on. If that's how you're generating your business, do you actually have that list, that database? Did you know at Reminder Media, one of our biggest pain points in helping real estate agents has been actually helping them get their database together? We were here getting marketing products out the door, and then we realized, wow, the real pain points, the list. Take some time. It will be some of the most valuable time you ever spend in your business, and get your list, get it together, start working that list. Remember, the difference between top producers and mediocre producers in every single business is top producers take action. Take action on that today.